Hey guys, today I want to talk about the difference between a $2,000 to $3,000 retirement in the Philippines to a $2,000 to $3,000 retirement in the U.S. Now, in the U.S., of course, rents are a lot higher depending on where you live. So, this would change in each area. Obviously, just like in the Philippines, rents might be a little bit different also. But I'm going to compare it like with the Boston area compared to like here in the Boston area. Most rentals in the Boston area, you're going to pay like $1,500 for a studio or one bedroom at the minimum. That's what you're going to spend for a decent place, and that's going to be unfurnished, and you're probably going to have to buy furniture for that place to live there, all that stuff. Now I'm talking about retirements. If you're going to be retired, also back in the Boston area, most places there's public transportation. It's kind of hard to get sometimes. Yes, they have Grab. It's a little bit more expensive than here than comparing it to the U.S. So in the Boston area, you're probably going to need a car. You're probably going to need at least a car, and you're going to be paying, probably who knows what for insurance, and plus for your car costs, your car, monthly payment or whatever. All that stuff, unless you paid it outright or what have you. So you're already up to, like, we'll say almost $2,000 right there. So you're already automatically gone with the $2,000 per month. You cannot live on $2,000 per month back in the Boston area. Now, there are places that you can, and I'm not saying that there isn't. So let's get that clear. There's places out in Nevada, probably Buffalo, New York, places like that. There's probably even a few places in Massachusetts that you could probably eke by with cheap rents, because a lot of people don't want to live there. There's no industry, there's no jobs in those sections. That's the difference. And also, let's go a little bit higher now. Let's say we spend $500 a month for food, so we're already up to $2,500 plus $500 for clothing, laundry, electricity, all that stuff. Your electricity charges, your heating. Your heating could be really high depending on the way the winter is there. We don't have heating here. We have air conditioning, so it kind of balances that one out a little bit, although heating's a little bit more expensive than it is for electricity to run an air conditioner, depending on how much space you have and stuff. But here's the kicker when you compare it to the Philippines, and I'm going to compare it with my lifestyle here. Okay? I'm going to compare it with my lifestyle, my actual lifestyle here now. Okay? I spend $70 a month for my apartment. It's a one-bedroom apartment. It's a larger one-bedroom. It's not the smaller ones like Justin has here, or the other two apartments. It's a little bit larger. I spend $10 more extra for that one. Okay, and then I rent my girlfriend's daughter apartment for $60. So we're up to a little bit over $100. It's like $130 or $40, whatever. And then for our electric bill, we spend, for my apartment, it's about $100 a month. 5,000 pesos I spend, sometimes less. This month it was actually less because it's been cool for the past 2 months here. It's actually been pretty decent and cool and dry air. So the air conditioner hasn't been kicking in as much lately. And also for my girlfriend's daughter's place, she spends $2,500 for her electric bill, and she has the window air conditioner. Okay, now for food. I give my girlfriend about $350 a month for food, okay? And that's not bad. Now, a lot of times we go out to eat. I order from McDonald's. I mean, I'm sitting here right now, and I just ordered from McDonald's. And, I like having my McDonald's food, and it's good. I like to just once in a while have a sandwich or something to order out. I'll order from Kenny Rogers, Greenwich Pizza. I like to go out to eat to Texas Roadhouse. I like to do all that stuff, Also, we have Wi-Fi. We have to pay our Wi-Fi bills a little bit expensive. We probably spend close to probably $100 a month, I think, for 2 Wi-Fis. Somewhere around there. I forget the exact bill on that one. But also we have our water bill. Our water bill is cheap. It's probably like $10, $12 a month, depending on the month. My daughter's is probably like 6 or something. I'm just guessing, somewhere around there. We also pay for a storage apartment right next to ours. We pay, a little bit of that. I pay about half that. Okay, and then also we pay for rental for where this cabana sits here. I pay $10 a month for this. This is the one that we use for the expats. But most of the rest of the money that we have left over, is spent on other things, getting around, going places, going to Mall of Asia, going out to eat, going to Chili's, going to buy stuff that I like to buy. Rides. Sometimes we pay Grab rides, or we hire a driver, we hire Ruben to go someplace or what have you. Medical. We pay medical because we pay out of pocket for outpatients. So if one of us gets sick, we got to pay for that. But I do spend around $3,000 a month. And over here, some people would say, well, geez, Steve, that's hard spending $3,000 a month. It's really, really not. Because when you have the money, you like to live. You like to live like you're retired. I like to spend money and not have to worry about it because I know it's budgeted. I know it's there. And I make a little bit more than that, but it's from my AdSense. I save some of that, and then some of it I donate to the orphanage. Today I just brought some water over to the orphanage, and I brought over some soda for the kids over there, for the orphanage over there, for the special needs kids. And I enjoy doing it. You like to do things that you enjoy, and you spend money on those things too. Now, if I take that out, would it still be $3,000? Yes, it would, because the money that I make off AdSense is above the $3,000. Okay, so for me, $2,000 to $3,000 here is pretty decent living. That's in the sweet spot. You know what I mean? But for me, I like to live higher, and most of the other guys will tell you, "Hey, Steve, I like to spend $700 a month for a house at least, and get a 2 to 3 bedroom house in a gated community or what have you," and that's fine. But even over here, if you're doing that, you're probably going to spend at least $2,500 to $3,000 a month, because you're going to order out. You're probably going to want to get a car, and if you have a car, you're probably going to be closer to the $3,000 a month club. You know what I mean? So that's where you're going to be, and you have to realize that I realize this too, that a lot of people cannot use tricycles. They cannot use jeepneys. They need a car, so you have to use the Grabs more, and the Grabs are fairly reasonable over here. For me to go to Alabang on some days, it's as low as 1,200 pesos, which that's a good deal. That's a really, really good deal. That's, it's cheap money. It's like about 22 bucks over there, 22 bucks back. And that's a long drive. It's about an hour and a half drive over there where we go, with traffic and everything. It's not a long drive. It's actually a short drive, but it's traffic. And that's why it costs so much to go over there. Some people would say, well, that's not that bad, Steve. That's not bad at all. No, it's not. You could probably rent a car for a little bit cheaper than that. But the guy's not going to make a lot of money, and you want to make sure that you help the people here to make at least a decent day's wages over here, because a person that's making, let's say $5 a day or $7 a day or $10 a day, that's not a decent wage. So I like to give the person at least a decent tip along with that and stuff like that. You just try to take care of people. I see the tricycle drivers over here. You got to take care of them. You know what I mean? These are guys that have a family back home. They probably got kids. They're trying to take care of their wife. They have to pay the roof over their head and everything. And they're struggling. And I'm a person that when I use a service or whatever, I always try to tip. I don't try to over tip. I give them a tip and probably a little bit extra. And I tell people, don't go crazy with your tipping and give them the same, like if you pay $200 for a haircut and a shave, for something like that, I can actually see giving them a little bit more. But some people I see giving them like 500 pesos or something like that. And I'll give the guy sometimes double, because I feel like the guy's he's giving me a haircut, he's giving me a shave, he's trimmed my eyebrows, he gives you like a quick back massage and stuff, and I feel that that's worth it. So I could cut back on all that, and I could live cheaper, but could I live like on like 1,200 or 1,500? No, I'd be struggling. People do live on 1,500, but they live differently because they're willing to eat Filipino foods and stuff, and I don't. So the food that goes into my family, the $350 each month, is basically for them. There's some of the food is for me. I'll eat like some things that they cook. My girlfriend will make me sandwiches or what have you, and I'll make beans, or I'll cook up some mac and cheese, or You know, I like having apples around and oranges once in a while, and pineapples, things like that. So that's where the extra money goes. It goes into like spending money on food and everything. Now, a lot of guys think like, well, geez, Steve, you make it sound like I can live on $800 a month. You really can't. You can't, because you'd be just sitting around the house all the time. Everybody that comes over here wants to live a little bit, you know, and I'm one of those people that likes to live a little bit. Everybody that I talk to that's in our group loves to go out, loves to hang out with other people, loves to go places, go to Park Sun Han Falls, go down to Barracuda, go down to Batangas, go up to Mall of Asia, go to places up in BGC, go to the BGC Mall, the Venice Mall, Mall of Asia, walk around the Makati area, maybe eat at some restaurant up there. It's stuff like that that costs you money. When you're going out with friends, you're always going to be spending money. You go out for a cup of coffee, meet some people or whatever. You know you're going to be spending a few bucks getting there, you know, eating some food with your friends. You might even treat or what have you. So those are the costs that you incur. Remember, when you were working, it's easier to save money because most of the time you're working, so you're not spending your money. You're actually working. Now you got 24/7 where it's you want to do things. I like to go swimming sometimes, so I go swimming down the street. I spend 200 pesos down there. While I'm down there, I like to grab something to eat or whatever, an ice cream. I have to pay for the ride there. I have to pay for the ride back. That's all money. It's all money. And like I said, when you're retired, every day you're going to be doing things. You're going to be wanting to get out. Some days you're going to sit home and you're just going to, you know, relax or whatever. And that's great. And you'll probably just eat some meal at home or whatever. You know, and some people like to do that. So yes, you can. That's why I say 2,000 to 3,000 is the place where you want to be. Because 2,000 would be if you don't get out much, you don't want to do much, you're kind of a homebody, but you like to get out once in a while. You like to go out to eat once in a while. 3,000 is, you know, if you got a family, your girlfriend has kids or what have you, that type of deal. 2,000, you could, you know, it's not great living, but it's good living. The more you have in your budget or income, and I say income and budget are the same, because what you do is every month, and some people disagree with me on this, but this is the way I do it. And I know other people say, no, Steve, it's this way. Well, this is the way I do it, okay? I take my income and I budget it. Some of it goes to savings. Some of it it gets budgeted to savings. For me, I pay myself first, you know, and I budget it for all the other stuff, the electric, the rent, what have you. You know, I get how people budget, but budgeting truly should be whatever your income is, you should budget that and say, okay, I'm going to take a chunk of this and I'm saving this for the future when I get older, you know. So, but remember, 2,000 to 3,000 here in the Philippines is way better than 2,000 to 3,000 in the U.S. Way better. Strong difference, you know. And as you can see, when you're paying something here, even if you're getting a high-end home here, it's 700 to 800 for a higher end home here. And when I say higher end, I'm talking about a higher end home, a really nice home here in, you know, it could be in Laguna. It's one of those places. You can get a really high end, beautiful home out there, 700 to 800 a month in a gated community with a pool, near malls. And, you know, I live in what I consider, you know, I wouldn't consider this low end, but I wouldn't consider it like poverty stricken or a squatters area either. I live near a mall. I live near transportation. I live near everything. You're comparing apples to oranges here when you compare it to the U.S. You really cannot compare what's here to the U.S. in reality. You just can't. It's totally different. People live differently here. If you're living Filipino, man, you're not living really good. And any Filipino will tell you that it's not a happy living Filipino, because you don't get to get out, you don't have money, you get sick, you don't have insurance, all that. Anyway, guys, God bless. I hope you enjoyed today's show, and I hope you understand what I'm trying to compare those two things. God bless, guys. Take care.